Started the pilot house sub-assembly by just first gluing this, which will be the floor of the pilot house, and I'm supposed to fold this around it, which is making me a little nervous because it's kind of stiff, and I hope it will bend without breaking. And then we've got the other parts of the structure up there that will be added in. Now, I decided this was too stiff and definitely not going to bend without getting soaked, so I stole one of my wife's casserole pans here. I'm just going to set it in here for, I don't know, maybe an hour or so, and we'll try again. Okay, had this soaking for a little over half an hour. Seems to be a little more flexible now. So we're going to try and fold this around. Now, instead of trying to hold this forever, give it a spritz of the accelerator. So you gotta hold on to this until it's set enough to hold its position, and we'll be back to put in the other parts. All right, we've got this pilot house wrapped around, glued on the floor, and they fitted the back wall. You know, we have to be sure that it's even up here on the corners, not flush on the bottom down here, otherwise this will be too low. So we got it in there fairly snug. We're gonna try and get it glued. Let that set up. We've got the next parts laid out here. They're going to go form the rest of the superstructure. Let me see. Next, got another wall. Again, these lines are marked on both sides to line this up. And again, we got to make it flush at the top, not necessarily at the bottom. So okay, and I gotta hold that together since it wants to spring out. Oops. Don't want to be too tight on that. Now, you got a piece here that goes up against this, and this is the back end, and we have piece that goes on the roof. So I'm gonna get all that stuck together, and we'll be back to add some more. This has all got to be really trimmed up with small stuff. I've got another very small little piece to match this for the roof, and we're making progress. All right, we got in the other two wall pieces. Now this piece apparently is just to hold up a later piece. Instructions say to fit it on the inside here, which required a lot of sanding on the two sides in order to get it to sit down in here. Otherwise it would ride on the top of it. So just carefully sand it off until we had enough off so that it slid down in there. They also say not to glue it at this point. Not sure why, but I guess we'll find out later. Whoops. So next, we're supposed to take some more of the small strips pieces and line the windows and doors with those. So we'll get back and do some of that. All right, we're ready to move on, putting on the trim and some other parts. First off, we've got the doors. There's 4 of them. Go on here and one here, which we need to get those on to know where to fit the strips. So let me see if these will pop out as well. As one thing with this kit is the parts seem to pop out okay. Of course this one won't. They're also a little delicate, tend to break. And which way is up? This way is up. And I've also got to get these middle pieces out, which is a little scary. All right. Now, this goes on here. If you look on the inside, you can see where they've got it marked. So I imagine we need to try and match that up. Like that. And get it as vertical as we can. Okay. Kind of lightly set it on so I can still move it. It's pretty well where we want it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get these other 3 on. I'll be back. Okay, I've got these 4 doors put on. Now I've had some strips soaking. We're gonna see. I'm supposed to put these around, above and below the doors and the windows. So let's do it this way. We got the top one on, bottom. Goes around right on the sill of the window. Okay. Well, that's enough for today. Let's see where we go from here.